In this week's nail tutorial, I'll be showing you how to do these Lana Del Rey inspired Coachella press-on nails step by step. So let's get into the step-by-step tutorial, but before we jump into that, I did want to let you all know that I finally opened up an Etsy shop. You can order this custom press-on set in any length, size, or shape. You can also place an order for other custom press-on sets, so check it out if you're interested. So here is our material palette for today. This was inspired by Lana Del Rey's Coachella set from weekend 1. So we're gonna be using a lot of blues, chrome, cat eye gel. We're gonna try to replicate some of these elements like the ribbon, the green leaves, and some of the Hollywood style swirls. I have a press-on nail list and nail art favorites list on my Amazon storefront, and a lot of these products are from there. So I will try to annotate those in the videos and then put them in the description so you can see where everything is from. These are the Vivace long stiletto nail tips. I love using these for press-on nail sets. The stand that I use, the adhesive tabs are all on there as well. So we're starting off with a teal colored cat eye gel, and we're applying 2 layers and then just running our magnet over it. I've also been using the Sun UV4 lamp recently and I really like it. I also have that on my storefront. I've tried a bunch of different lamps and it was time for me to get a new one, so this has been really nice. And we're gonna apply a teal blue jelly color over this. These are both from South Texas Nail Supply. I really like applying cat eye gel with jelly over it. Once you've done like the magnet, it really gives you a really nice effect, and you can do that with a bunch of different colors. Once that's dry, we're gonna be using some trippy gel today. This is from Nails by Deb, and we're gonna try to create some 3D bows. So I just like to take a little bit out. Always wear gloves when you're using this, and you just wanna roll it around in your hands until you kind of get the general shape that you want. And then you can put it on the nail and then use a silicone tool to start patting that into place. If it feels too sticky, you can use a little bit of 70% isopropyl alcohol. So I'm doing that here. And you can also use like the larger side of your silicone tool to kind of flatten it out. And then once you kind of get it to your liking, you don't have to cure it right away. You could go like the full design and then cure it, but I did piece by piece. So I added these kind of like scalloped details, and then I moved on to the other side of the bow. So putting it into like a small little ball and then rolling it in your hands and then putting it on the nail and then using your silicone tool to just shape it into place is the best way that I've found to use like 3D gels or like the trippy gel, for example. And it's really fun. It's like playing with Play-Doh. So if you haven't tried to use these before, I would definitely recommend it. You can create a lot of really cool designs with 3D gel. So you can just roll it into a little ball and then kind of roll it into a skinnier long piece, depending on what type of design you're trying to make, and then just put it on the nail and then use your silicone tool to move it to wherever you want to go. You have unlimited time to mold it to your liking. It's not going to dry until you put it into the lamp, so you can really take your time and create a bunch of detailed designs or whatever you're trying to make. And you can also cure it piece by piece, which is what I did because I was a little scared of messing up and then ruining what I had already done. I like to use the pointy part of the silicone tool to add like little detailing like this. You can kind of push out the edges to give a little bit more dimension. And once it's fully cured, you can add gel polish over it. So I added that jelly blue over the top just to add a little bit of color and help it kind of match the background. And then once I fully cured that, I went back in with this kind of chrome gel polish that Nails by Dev recently released, or maybe it wasn't super recent, but it's fairly new. It basically looks like chrome in a gel polish bottle. So I just added that over the blue once it was fully dried in my lamp, just to add a little bit of more interesting elements. And that color is called Lucid Lullaby, I believe. And once that's all done, you can top coat it and it should stay in place and everything should fully cure and you should be good to go. So the next nail, we're gonna use a jelly blue color and we're gonna try to draw the kind of leaves, that little kind of arch that she had on stage above that. So I just did a layer of the jelly blue, cured that, and then I went in with that Lucid Lullaby color on top. You can see it a lot better here. It basically is like chrome, not chrome powder necessarily, but it gives you like a liquid chrome effect in a gel polish bottle. So it was really cool. And so once that's fully cured, I'm gonna just take a black gel polish and kind of draw the basic outline of where we're gonna place the leaves. And then we're just gonna take a darker green gel polish and a 9mm brush and just start drawing kind of little blobs. I mean, these are basically gonna be kind of the less detailed parts of the leaves. And then we're gonna draw like actual leaves themselves, which I'm doing here with my brush. These don't have to be perfect. Basically just kind of make them coming out in all different ways and shapes from the arch. And then once that's fully cured, we're gonna go in with a light green just to add a little bit of highlight and just to add a little bit more color so it pops up a little bit better against that blue background. Next, we're gonna move on to our isolated chrome design. This is definitely the hardest part of this nail set. Isolated chrome is tricky, but I'm gonna show you what I have found works best for me. But to start off for the base, we're gonna do a white gel polish, keep it simple, fully cured that, and then we're gonna go over it with that Lucid Lullaby chrome color, just to add that same kind of effect and help the nail set look a little bit more cohesive. This is what I use for isolated chrome. So I go in with a matte top coat, I apply a full layer, and then once that's cured, I take a lint-free wipe and some 70% isopropyl alcohol, and I really rub it in there. Like, I'm using a lot of force just to make sure I am really rubbing off whatever sticky layers on top as thoroughly as I can. I didn't have a non-wipe gel, so what I did was I mixed a little bit of black polish with a non-wipe top coat, and that is what I'm using to draw the kind of Hollywood swirl design here. So my understanding is that non-wipe top coat or a non-wipe gel is what really makes the chrome stick. So this is what I have found to work for me. So I'm just taking a really small dotting tool and drawing just random swirls going in all directions. I tried to do this with the brush, but because I'm doing an isolated chrome design, I just wanted to have a little bit more control. So the small dotting tool worked really well for this. So you're just gonna go ahead and draw whatever design you'd like with that mixture. And then once you are fully done with it, you will cure for about 30 seconds. And the timing of the cure is also tricky. You don't want to undercure it, but you don't want to overcure it, is my understanding. So you might have to try that. You might want to do like a test nail before you fully go in to do this. You'll see that's why my gloves are dirty, is because I tested this out. But I think I did about 30 seconds. And then you want to take your chrome. So this is the Flaming Chrome from South Texas Nail Supply. So it has this really nice blue color in there. And then you just rub it in there. And you should be able to tell pretty quickly whether it's sticking or not. So it was working well in this case, and I just really rubbed it in there. And then I use a makeup sponge, like the mini makeup sponges. I have a huge pack from Amazon that I use, and I will link it. You can get a lot of them for a pretty good price. And then I wiped off any excess with that makeup sponge. And then you want to fully cure the chrome in your lamp again for 60 seconds before you top coat, and that should do the trick. I am by no means a master at isolated chrome, but this is what I have found has worked for me so far. So give it a try and see if it works for you. And the next nail is going to be pretty simple. We're going to go in with a teal blue cat eye gel, apply 2 layers of that, and then use our magnet. I have seen a lot of different cool magnets people use, but I think the key is you need to have a magnet that's strong enough. So this was a pretty strong magnet, and it just gave, I just wanted to add like a little bit of an effect. I wasn't going for anything in particular. So I just like to go around the edges and then maybe across the center, like ever so slightly, and then you can cure it once it's to your liking. I'm gonna go in with that jelly blue color again. There's just something about adding jelly colors over a cat eye gel. It just gives you a really cool effect. I want to try this with other colors eventually, but because we were sticking to a blue theme, I think this turned out really nice for this set. And once that's fully cured, we're just going to do some simple stars for this nail. So just using that same small dotting tool and putting some white gel polish on there, and then using my 9mm brush. So I think the trick to this is that you want to leave the center of the gel polish uncured and then drag it out to create the stars. If you cure it, it looks a little bit less cohesive and it's a little bit harder to get cleaner lines. So I leave it uncured and then drag the polish out from the center. I'll add a little bit of polish to my brush if I need to. I fully cured that, and then I went in with that Lucid Lullaby color just to add a little bit of detail over that white. It doesn't show up that well, but I think in person you can tell there's a little bit of that chrome effect there over the white. This was the most simple nail in this set, so I just went ahead and top coated that once it was fully cured. And for the last nail, we're gonna do a silver metallic chrome. So we're gonna go in with a black gel polish. I applied 1 layer of that, fully cured it, and then did a second layer just to make sure it was as pigmented as possible. Then we're gonna use a top coat, so a non-wipe top coat. I use a separate top coat for my chromes. I would recommend it so you don't mess up your good top coats. Apply a full layer of that. I cured for about 30 seconds, and then I'm gonna go in with that silver chrome and rub it in there, trying to use as much pressure as possible. And again, this is like an experimentation thing, so you might want to test it out before you go in to do it for the actual set. And then you can use your fingers as well, just make sure you wear gloves. And then fully cure it in your lamp to make sure that that chrome stays. And then we're going to use this variety pack of pearls that I've used in a bunch of my videos. I will link it below. And I just wanted to add a little bit of pearls to the nail, kind of going diagonally. So I'm just adding a little bit of Macart rhinestone glue, and we're going to place those pearls with a pair of tweezers. So I did 2 big ones and then 2 small ones, fully cured that, and then top coated over that. And this is how it turned out. And here is how the full set turned out. I just repeated those same designs for the other 5 nails. So here are all 10 press-on nails. I hope you guys enjoyed. This was really fun to try to recreate something inspired by Lana Del Rey's Coachella set. I have more tutorials on my page, and I will see you in next week's video.